everybody. Welcome again to Doozer's shop. Haven't posted in a little while. I don't have a lot done in the shop, but I just wanted to give you a quick update of what I am working on. So let's do it. Alright, let's pan over to here. What I got here is, this is a bell housing. I finally purchased one off eBay. I've got two Cummins BT4 diesel engines, and I have no bell housing adapters. So this housing will adapt, it's actually upside down. Alright, this pattern on this side is the engine mount side. This is for the Cummins. And the other side is a small block Ford transmission pattern. So I've got a ZF 5-speed in the high bay that fits this. So yeah, making progress. Got a little project for my buddy Mike Z. It's a Chevy 283 harmonic balancer, and you know, it's an older one, and it's got, I don't know if you can see this, these rivet heads on the front, and it's got the 3 bolts for the pulley. So we got this pulley, and it's supposed to pilot on there, but because of the rivet heads, it doesn't sit flush. So I'm going to lay out some holes. I already drew it up in SolidWorks to get my coordinates. I'm going to jig drill some, or spot face with an end mill, and just leave clearance for these, because the balancer's in fine shape. The rubber elastomer is good. So that's going to be an upcoming project. Fairly easy. Just wanted to give you guys a little preview. Let's see. Still power feed for the carriage of the apron on the Colchester 17. That's still coming up. Still got to get the Gorton 9J back together. That's the gearbox, and I'm going to go with the sprockets. That's coming up. So, got a few things I got to do. The gearbox, the worm gearbox on the bandsaw, leaking oil out of the input shaft. So what I'm going to do is, you can kind of see oil's been dripping down. I think the output shaft is leaking. The seal is leaking too. I'm going to take this apart, drain the oil, pop new seals in it, but then I got to put oil inside and refill it and change the oil. And I don't know, well, I know it's a worm gear and a worm wheel, but I don't know if it's a cast iron worm wheel or a bronze worm wheel. I'm going to make the assumption that it's a bronze worm wheel. And I need a special non-EP lubricant, something that will not attack bronze. So the only thing that I've come up with is Mobil SHC 634, which is a synthetic steam cylinder lubricant, which also tends to be used for worm wheel lubrication. And I know I think there's something called 460 worm wheel lubricant. I gotta find some. If you guys know, leave a comment what I can use for a potentially bronze worm wheel. Oh, the reason I'm not going with the SHC Mobil 634 is it's like the only place I can find it is on eBay. It's $35 a quart. So the heck with that noise. Update on the Giddings Lewis boring mill. The mighty Giddings Lewis. I'm pointing over here because I changed the oil. There's the drain plug. There's also a drain plug underneath there, and there is a plug in the front of that gear case. Is like a clutch cover. But out of that drain plug, I drained 15 gallons of oil, and it was thick, syrupy stuff. Now, the oil that's supposed to go in this gear case is supposed to be 10 weight engine oil, and in the upper bar gearbox is supposed to be 20 weight engine oil. So what I did, and the theme of keeping a modern lubricant in this, I crossed the 10 weight engine oil for this gear case. The equivalent weight is number ISO 32 anti-wear hydraulic oil. So I put AW32 in there because it was comparable to the SAE 10 weight engine oil. And up in here, this gear case, which called for SAE 20 weight engine oil, I put it crossed over to ISO 68 anti-wear hydraulic oil. So that's what I got going on there. Let me kind of scooch over here. I got a few things together. I hope I showed you guys. The handle painted silver, I had rebuilt that. It was broken in like 5 or 6 pieces. And the knurled in-out grip, I rebuilt that too. So the one, and that's brazed. I just painted it. The one that you see just with a one braze joint was broken in 2 or 3 pieces, and that's fixed. So not sure about that. You can see on top, I can't even see. Okay, am I blocking the shot? No, higher. Okay. Brass way wiper. Brass way wiper. There's one brass way wipers on the bottom too. And I don't know. Yeah, there's one. There's another one. Those I had taken apart to clean everything, and I got them put back. You can see the flaking is in fine shape. This whole machine's in fine shape. The screw is nice and sharp, the Acme screw. Oh, this let me slide around here. Oh, if I'm skinny enough to get through. Okay. This is what jogged my memory. So what this is just a piece of bar stock, and I had to mill it a square on it smaller. And what that's for is this dude here. All right, I didn't have a pipe wrench for that, so I made this and I used a crescent wrench. So that was a project, and that allows me to use a crescent wrench. And also, there's a drain plug there. So the Giddings Lewis 25T, this was weeping oil. That was weeping oil, and my floor, you can see, that's the oil on the floor. So that's no good. So I got that all fixed and Teflon taped. Let's see. There's the sight level, and you can see, hope you can see, it's right in the middle. It takes 15 gallons. So, and then I cleaned, I don't know if I can show you, all up under there. It was all greasy and nasty. And I cleaned it. It took me forever. But that's done. That's got Teflon tape on it. The real good stuff. That one's got Teflon tape on it. You can see maybe the Teflon tape on that. 15 gallons, folks. But what made it nice is that riser is not a factory item. That's a 10-inch riser made out of 10-inch C-channel. And somebody built it back in the day, and I got it on pieces of wood to support it, and cushion it and whatever. But that made draining the oil easier, because normally that would be on the floor and you got like an inch to drain it. With this I had 10, 11 inches to drain it. So that's cool, and we're up to the level. Took 15 gallons of anti-wear ISO 32 oil. And the top, I've got a new sight glass. Actually, I didn't put the oil in the top yet. That's going to be 68 oil. Giddings Lewis 25T. All right, let me go back around here. I'll show you what I'm up to on the Colchester. Let me go give you a front shot real quick. Forgive the box on the top of the headstock. I was just covering it because the cover's off from dust. So I got a few things to put back together, the apron, the carriage, and da-dee-da-da. But the chip pan is what I was focusing on. Now the chip pan, the front of it's in pretty good shape, and both sides are in good shape. The back was really jinkied up. Kind of show you. I replaced the back rail. It was bent in 10 different ways. It was actually cut in half, split in half. So that's new, and that's fixed. And what it is, it's just a piece of half-inch EMT conduit, like you see on the walls everywhere. Half-inch EMT, you know, electrical conduit. And that's what I used. And it was the perfect size as the old stuff. And you kind of see what I did. I got a plug. I plug. See, this stuff is welded on the bottom every foot or so, and I ground off the welds. And the new one, so I didn't have to weld upside down, I did like a little rosette plug weld there, basically every foot. So that's on there. It's nice and straight. This whole chip tray, somebody had tried lifting it with a forklift, and they bent it up in the middle. And see, this is the drain hole. It's like a 1-inch pipe thread. That was not the lowest point. It is now. And what I did, I can kind of show you, I used a jack and a 4x4, and I came off the ceiling with the 4x4, and I put a cross piece so I didn't, so it was pushing on the joist actually. And I put the jack and I pushed the pan down back level again. And actually what I did, maybe I can show you. Okay, see underneath, I got a piece of wood. It's a 1-inch piece of pine underneath the actual, the bed. And it holds the flex out of the chip pan. It's actually spring-loaded in there, that wood. And it holds the pan nice and flat. And forgive the rag. But this is good. This thing, you lay a straight edge in there, it is actually dead flat, and actually front to back it tapers towards the drain hole, which is there. Piece of, like a bung, I guess. And that piece down there, that piece there was actually bent down. And that's where the chip pan jogs for the motor. You can see that the chip pan has a cutout space for the motor. And yeah, this was bent down like 3/4 of an inch. It was drooped down. So I put a jack on the floor. Actually, I used this little bottle jack is all I used. And I bent this up, so this is now level and flat. And like I said, this whole rail, and I mean, this is a shot of how it's attached. I slid it with the grinder with the thin blade, and I just pushed it over the chip pan. Now, the chip pan on the handy, this is rolled, this is one piece. This is the actual metal from the pan rolled over on itself. And, this is in fine shape. But this is all one piece. The Colchester, this is an add-on, this lip. So I just wanted to show you guys a little bit about what I've been up to. So this is fixed. I got the pan pushed down flat and shimmed. This Colchester, it's coming together. I got the gap out, I got the pieces out, and you can see the front rail is in fine shape. Nothing wrong with it. But yeah, I just wanted to give you a quick update from what I've been working on here. In the boring mill, everything's still good. I've been getting arbors and tooling, whatever. Gotta love the SIP boring mill. But we've been working on the Colchester lathe and getting the rear part of the rail for the chip pan fixed. And so that's a successful repair, and it looks very good. I'm very happy with it. Till next time, Doozer's Shop.